Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to always make the best quiche from scratch. So stay tuned and I'll show you all the steps. Now I'm actually making 3 quiches today, so let's get started on the crust. I used some very good butter, I like Kerrygold, some ice water, and a couple of eggs, and some salt. Now all I did was take my very cold butter, chop it up into cubes, then I added my salt to the flour. And the secret is if you put it in a food processor, it comes out perfect every time. Now I know not everybody has a food processor, but you can always do this by hand too. Now you're looking for some coarse crumbs like that. Then you're going to beat up your eggs and add your ice water. And then you're going to put that into the flour mixture. Now I did save a tiny bit just in case it was not needed. And then you're just gonna keep pulsing it and see how it starts to form a dough. Now I did end up needing that last little bit. And now just watch this. Pretty soon it's all gonna form into one big ball, and that's what you're looking for. Once you see that, then you know it's done. You don't want to keep doing it after that. See how it's all coming together? And there it goes. See, it should look like this. Just kind of like a cookie dough. Now what I did was I just patted it out and I divided it into smaller sections, because that way when I'm going to roll it out and I flattened it some, it'll be easier after it's chilled. So I'm just rolling it out here. See, I rolled it out pretty thin because when you take it out of the fridge, it's rock hard. So if you sort of roll it halfway, it's a lot easier when it's done chilling. And I put that on a cookie sheet and I just stuck it in the fridge for an hour. Now I'm gonna make some spinach and mushroom quiche. Now the great part of this quiche recipe is you can use any fillings you want, but today I'm making a quiche Lorraine and then this one. So I have some spinach, some mushrooms, and some garlic, and I took some butter in a big skillet. And then I'm just gonna saute these mushrooms. Now this process takes probably 6 to 7 minutes because we want all the moisture evaporated out and them to be starting to brown. And I just put some garlic in there and just a touch of salt and a few turns of pepper. And see how the moisture is finally going away and we get some brown pieces. Then once it's done, you want to drain them really well on some paper towels. Next, I go and put in my spinach. Now you guys, I had a huge tub of this, so I had to do it in 2 batches. And if you see any really thick stems, take those off. And this only takes a couple minutes for the spinach to wilt and basically go down to nothing. And then you also want to wrap that in a paper towel to drain all the excess moisture off, and then I gave it a good chop. Then I just mixed the mushrooms and the spinach together. Now you guys, in order to have authentic French quiche, you have got to have Gruyere cheese, and it does not come pre-shredded. So you're just going to take your blocks, and it also has a rind, which you can totally use, and then I just shredded it up. And this has a real nutty taste. Now it's also a little on the salty side. So what I like to do is mix a combination of Monterey Jack cheese and the Gruyere. Okay guys, so my dough has been refrigerating and I sprinkled some flour on my board, rolled it out, and then I just put it on my quiche pan. And then I just, with my hand, just tore off the excess pieces around the pan. Now, what we have to do next is blind bake the crust. So if you don't do that, your crust is going to be soggy. So I took some parchment paper. Now normally you would use beans or pie weights, but I didn't have any, so you can use sugar, believe it or not, because it has some weight to it, so it will keep that paper down. Now after 15 minutes I took it out, and as you can see the edges are starting to brown, but the middle part is raw. So we're going to do what's called docking, where we take a fork and we're just going to prick that with little holes in it so the steam can escape. Okay, and now there it is, all done. And that's how it should look. Okay, now here's the secret. For every 5 large eggs, you're going to need 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, not half and half, heavy whipping cream. Because if you don't add enough cream to a quiche, it's going to taste like an omelet. Now, just a dash of salt, a very small dash of nutmeg. The nutmeg just gives it that little something. And then I like to use a little bit of no salt seasoning. It's got a bunch of different herbs in there, probably like a teaspoon, and it's got no salt. So the first thing you're going to do is put your cheese on the bottom. And then I sauteed some onions and fried up some bacon and crumbled the bacon on top. So this is my quiche Lorraine. And then you're just going to pour the egg custard mixture over the top. And then this was my spinach and mushroom one. I had the cheese on the bottom, then the vegetables. And then this is the one with the quiche Lorraine, how it came out after I baked it for about 30 minutes. And I just put a few green onions on the top for decoration. Now this is how I decorated the top of the vegetable one. I put some spokes of asparagus with a tomato in the middle. And now here is a slice cut out of the one I made for Chris and I. It was so creamy and delicious. If you follow this recipe, you'll never have dry quiche. So thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next video. Bye everybody.